What up, everyone? This is Jack Slater, and I am the Comic Outlaw, bringing it to you raw from my little pocket dimension somewhere out there, if you know what I mean. All right, now Memorial Day. I'm gonna do a little special for this. I'm gonna hook a little something up because your boy has people that have served in the military. Boy has friends that have served in different militaries over different multiverses. So I picked a few Marvel and DC characters, actually quite a substantial list, and we're going to go over them because it's my show and I run it. All right. Now, I kind of listed them and I kind of didn't, so I'm just going to list a few off, give a little history. The Blackhawks. Blackhawks were a 40s comic. Like different pilots from different like occupied countries by Germany, and they would fly, against Germany, doing the secret missions, stuff like that. They were mentioned briefly, I think, in the Justice League cartoons. Yeah, it was the Justice League cartoons. Because I remember in a limited, Lex had to break into Black Hawk Island. Yes. Now, bottom of the list, because Bucky, a.k.a. the Winter Soldier. Hey, everyone. Ugh, the Winter Soldier. Alright, basically, everyone knows who he is. He was Captain America's sidekick, basically, but he wasn't, as a goody two-shoes as we were led to believe early on, because later they revealed that he was more of a kind of like a assassin. He would do the dirty jobs that Captain America didn't know about, kind of making him in effect like the mini Punisher, sort of. I don't know. I never gravitated towards his character. I think he's kind of a plot device, but that's just me. That's my humble opinion. And that's why he's so low on this list. So there. And let's see. Flash Thompson. Flash Thompson was a bully in the old Spider-Man comics. Real dick. He went to the military, got paralyzed, became one with the symbiont, the Venom symbiont, became Agent Venom, which was cool. He was a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy for a while. Had a great run. He became friends with Spider-Man. It was interesting actually to see him as Agent Venom. Besides Eddie Brock, I would have to say that that's probably number 2 of who I've liked wearing that suit. He really earned the part. He's currently Anti-Venom? Agent Anti-Venom, I guess. Well, anything could change. You never know. He might be Agent Carnage next. You never know. Alright, so next one on our list is Charles Xavier, Professor X. X-Man. Yep. Alright. Believe it or not, in the original comics, I guess he fought in the Vietnam War or Korea. One of the two. He was with his stepbrother, Marco Kane, the one that would become Juggernaut. This is where the whole Juggernaut incident happens originally, where they find the jewel. Sidorak, he reaches out, touches it, cave in, he gets buried. Charles leaves him. So Charles has served time in the military, but as people have said before, he's not exactly the saint that we all thought he was. He's actually kind of a dick, just like his brother. Maybe that's why Juggernaut missed him so much after he was gone. Now, this guy mostly came from a show, but I like the character. Very cool character. And I like Arrow's an okay show, but I love the character of John Diggle. He's more complex. I like how he has different dimensions, how he brings a different side to Oliver, and how he's kind of an anchor for the show. Also served in the military as well. Real cool character. I mean, if you see Arrow, he's really cool. He gets to wear the hood for a while. So it's good to check him out, I hope he gets more roles in the comic books. That would be cool. It'd be nice, to bring him over. I think he could do really well in further issues. But, I ain't one of the writers. Now, Captain Atom. Captain Adam's another one. Experiment, changed his body into just pure energy. Basically, the skin, the gray thing that he wears is a suit to contain his power. If he didn't have that, he would just become pure energy and he explodes. He's an okay character. He's a bit of a prude. He was actually supposed to be the Monarch in Armageddon 2001. I remember reading that, and then the whole Hawk swear was weird. And I guess he becomes him later on, and I don't know. Very convoluted hero. I never really got into him. It always seemed like he was too dangerous to be around. I mean, for example, in the Flashpoint universe, they use him. The Atlanteans actually use him as a bomb to destroy everything, which I thought was kind of hilarious myself. All right, another one is a former pilot, Benjamin J. Grimm, a.k.a. The Thing. Yes, sir. The Thing. I think that's cool, awesome. He's one of my favorite characters. He's my favorite character in the Fantastic Four period. I can't say enough good things about him. I love that he was also a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. The reason he's a little lower on this list is because it didn't define him as much as it defined the other ones going up the list. So, moving on. War Machine. You guys know who Cody Rhodes is? You know, let go of my roadie. Iron Man's pseudo little brother. A very cool character. I like that Don Cheadle's playing him. Great switch. I'm a big Don Cheadle fan. I hope to see more War Machine. I love the way he plays the character. I actually like the character from the old days. I thought he was interesting. He was different from Tony. The suit had a more like 90s appeal, you know. It kicked more butt, you could say. And plus the gray just looked bad with the cannon right there. I thought it looked sweet. Now, moving up the list, Batwoman. Yes, Batwoman. Batman's cousin. Cassandra, I believe. Now, she, of course, in the military, she served for a while, as did her father. It's led to certain issues with Batman and the family as of today. It also conflicts with Bruce's ideals a bit. She brings an interesting dynamic to the family, more of an outsider's view, since she's like one of the people that wasn't raised by Bruce and hasn't fully drinking the Kool-Aid. So props to Batwoman. And plus she was dating Renee Montoya. The Question. Yeah. Boy. Anyways. Now, going up the list, I would have to say The Punisher. We all know who The Punisher is. Frank Castle. The man himself. The unstopping killing machine. Who punishes all who commit crime. If you're guilty, he will shoot you. Interesting character. Another person that came from the Vietnam War, and as comics age, you pick a war, he was in it. You know what I mean? He uses his skills to fight and kill criminals. They did an okay job with him in Daredevil. The Punisher show, I felt, was a little slow. Like, very, very slow. And should have kicked off more. Wonderful actor, though. I have to give him his props. He does a wonderful job. Alright, moving on to another favorite of mine. Wolverine. The reason Wolverine's a little higher on this is because he's basically fought in every war. Like, what's this, the 1800s? I mean, this man is a vet all the way through. He served his country time and time again, both for Canada and America. So, props for Wolverine. Man's man, if you know what I'm saying. Great guy to have a beer with. But you cannot drink that man under the table. Believe me, I've tried. Alright, moving up the list. John Stewart, former sniper and Green Lantern. And man, he packs quite a punch. A fan of Old Yeller, according to the Justice League cartoons, and a fact that I like bringing up because in the comics they depict him as kind of like a cold as ice sniper. He's also an architect too, which makes his constructs a little more sound structurally. Although he's had his failures over the years, letting the planet die, he's saw past his fears, and he's basically generally just a good character. He really plays off Hal good when they're partners. Like I love the partnership between Guy and Kyle, and the partnership between Stewart and Hal. I think all the parties kind of balance each other out when they had the comics separate. I thought that was cool. So John Stewart, I'm gonna give you some props. Moving up the list, Nick Fury. Yep, you knew that I was gonna put him on here. Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos. Back in the day, one of the fiercest bang bang men alive, and still is. Runs shield. Well, I guess until the universe restarted, he was the Watcher, sort of. This man is the spy of spies. I don't know how else to put it. The hidden soldier, the man on the wall. Nick Fury. Man with a big set of brass balls, if you know what I'm saying. They go clang clang in a storm and they spark together. Believe you that. Alright, moving up the list, Miss Marvel. Or Captain Marvel now, I'm sorry. Oh, I just remember her in that blue suit. Alright, Captain Marvel. Yes, Carol Danvers. Who actually has a history with one of my favorite X-Men characters, Rogue. Rogue actually got her powers from touching her and sort of absorbed her, and then they put her back in her body, and then, well, anyways, this super strong woman was a pilot as well, Air Force, I do believe. Sexy, strong, efficient. I love the way they've kind of given her a forefront in some of the Avengers cartoons that Disney has made. I think it's really cool. I think her replacement, Miss Marvel, the new Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, I do believe her name is. Great replacement. I like the fact that she's a fangirl. It makes so much sense. When some of the other replacements came in for when they started killing off characters or replacing characters, I was like, ah. But her replacement was organic. It felt right. And I do love the character of Carol Danvers, and she's gotten more time to shine. They made her look like a big dick in Civil War 2, but if you read Civil War 1, they made everyone look like a dick. And well, Civil War 2 was just a big burrito bite, if you know what I mean. Alright. Moving on up. The Red Hulk. Thunderbolt Ross. This man used to chase the Hulk around for years. Matter of fact, Hulk was a Betty Ross, his daughter, for the longest time until she died of poisoning from the Abomination, I do believe. That was a whole thing that got sorted out. And then she became the Red Hulk for a while, and it led to a love fight thing. You know how it is with Hulk, angry people, always trying to smash and smash at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Thunderbolt, tired of it, becomes the Red Hulk. I think the Red Hulk's interesting. I like the way they played him in Hulk in the Ages of Smash. They made him kind of a jerk, which he is, you know. They kind of cut some of the bad things out, but they left enough of him for the cartoon. They kept his essence. I like that he's a braggart, that he gives off radiation energy and he can absorb a little bit. I like that his powers are a little different. He has a cap though. I like that he has Ross's experience as a soldier. He uses guns. He's a bit more shifty. He's a bit more, he's played the game a lot longer, so he knows how to deal with politicians and stuff. He's a lot more craftier. Not Joe Fix-It crafty, but, military crafty. Driven. I think very interesting character. I'd like to see a little more. Maybe a comic book series. That'd be nice. Alright. Another character. Black Widow. And even though she started out as a Russian agent, she did defect to America. And she did do a lot of good things for us, so I'm going to count her. I don't think anyone that's seen the Avengers knows that Black Widow does not need any introduction. Whew. sexy, fine, and deadly combat aficionado, assassin, good with multiple weapons, just an all-around good killer. Hit me up, honey. Anyway, moving up the list. Now, since DC owns the right to this, I'm counting this, and since they're doing a crossover, I'm going to say the Comedian. Yeah, I said it. I said it. My second favorite character in the Watchmen movie. Rorschach, Comedian. I thought the Comedian was an interesting character. He had a lot of darkness to it, and the contrast with him was interesting in the comics too. He was both a bad guy and a good guy. And he always seemed to do bad things for the right reasons in his own mind. I'm interested to see where this goes in Doomsday Clock, what happens with him. I think it's really cool. Thank you for bringing back Eddie Blake. Mr. Manhattan, you finally did something for me. How about getting me a 30-pack? What? No blue magic? Oh well. Moving on. Now, she got her start in the military, so I'm just going to say Wonder Woman, the Golden Age. When Diana Prince took a job in the Air Force, she that was kind of like her first basic thing in All-Star Comics, and then later on Wonder Woman. She was always an agent in the Air Force. I mean, she had an invisible jet. So I'm totally counting that. I think it's really cool, you know, when you actually research some of the older Golden Age stuff on how they got their start. Very cool. Number 2 for me is Hal Jordan. Air Force, Green Lantern, greatest Green Lantern of all. So I'm told. So, Hal Jordan, very cool, very cocky. Like I said, master of that green ring of his, pure willpower. Very, if you like read his character, very stubborn, very set in his ways. Perfect example of what a quintessential Green Lantern is. So Hal Jordan. Now, number 1, you guys are probably guessing, when Captain America throws his mighty shield. Of course it's going to be Captain America, the Star-Spangled Avenger. I mean, when you think a superhero soldier, super soldier, it's Captain America through and through. And he's well deserving of this. Over the years, they've tried to make him embody the idea of America and good and bad, thin and flush, good stories and bad stories. He's always been that symbol. And I think Captain America should always remain that symbol. I had no problem when the Falcon took him over. I thought he did it justice. But Steve Rogers, in my mind, is always Captain America. And that is always going to be number 1. Even though he's a self-righteous, goody-good pain in the butt, you have to pay the man his due. Now, I'm going to give 2 honorable mentions to 2 teams. The Invaders and the JSA. The Invaders were the Marvel team with Namor, the original Human Torch, which is an android, not Johnny Storm, Captain America, Union Jack, a few other people. That they fought the Nazis in Marvel. So, and the JSA, the Justice Society of America, which had Jay Garrett, Alan Scott, the original Adam, Wonder Woman, a lot of different characters. They were the teams that fought the Nazis. And in a lot of ways, they were the teams that got the ball rolling for so many other things. So you have to show them some old school love. And that is my look on some of the veteran superheroes who have fought in the military, served, and became heroes. But with or without their powers, they're always destined to be heroes. Because they chose to serve. And they chose to stand up when no one else would. So, this one's for you guys. This is Jack Slater, the Comic Outlaw, signing off. If you like what you see, hit the like, the bell, anything like that. Hit me up for requests. I'm always here. And I'll catch you on the flip side.